Today in my sessions, I had a theme. No matter what the age was, we ranged from, I would say, 12 to 84 years old today. Same exact limiting beliefs, no matter who they were, no matter what their background, what their age, it was just all the same. And it was, I'm not good enough. And I listen to everybody else's words, but I don't listen to my own words and my own beliefs about myself. So this is all a self-concept issue. And I asked the youngest one, where did you come up with these ideas about yourself? And I asked if they compared themselves to other people on social media, of course. And they said, yeah, I do that. And I said, okay, does that help or hurt you? And they said, well, it hurts me. And I said, does it ever help you at all? Do you get anything out of it? And they said, no, it always hurts me. So remember that comparison is a thief of joy. I need to get some water. Comparison is a thief of joy. We know this, but we continue to do it. Why do we do that to ourselves? And we also trust other people's opinions over our own, about our own lives. And as a therapist, of course, when I first started out, of course, I didn't know what I was doing. You're just kind of thrown out there. And so I thought, I have a blueprint. Like, here, do this, do this, do this. Like, you're going to feel so much better if you do these steps and all this. And I had to humble myself over the years that I don't know what's best for anybody. And I don't know what's best for you. But I love doing these videos, just giving little tips and tricks that anybody can try, that whatever resonates with you best, just go out there and use it and see how it works for you. And like I always say, become your own evidence. So it's only you that matters. Nobody else matters around you as far as their opinions. No one knows what is best for you. And we seem to trust everybody else but ourselves. And again, no matter what the age was today, it was the same theme. And it was, I'm not good enough. And it's like, who are we not good enough for? Who measures what is good enough? And the answer is we do. So why are you not good enough for yourself? What makes that be a thing? What makes that the truth for you? Really investigate that, because sometimes we don't even know that we're operating from that limiting belief. And I know I've said it in the past that I'm trained in EMDR and EMDR therapy, and it's a therapy that helps cure PTSD and trauma symptoms, and among other things. And it's just such a great therapy. And whether it's a placebo or not, hey, I look at it as kind of energy medicine in a way. I love doing EMDR. But the most limiting belief that even all the therapists in there themselves had was, I'm not good enough. So for some reason, we just don't feel good enough. And I just don't understand why. And so that's kind of my mission, is to help people feel good enough. And I think that we have to be our own hype person. I've said this before, and I told my clients this today. I was like, you've got to be your own hype person, because you cannot expect the outside world to dictate to you who you are. And on social media, of course, I think TikTok was the culprit with this one kiddo. It's like, I really want people to get off of even YouTube. I love that people watch the videos, but I also want to teach people to get off their phones. I kind of wish we lived in the 90s again. And I fantasize about that just a tidbit. Just go back to normal, I got to get home and check my email, or, I got to get home and check the caller ID to see who called, and, private name, private number, I wonder who that was. It's just I don't know, we're so attached to these bricks. I'm holding on to it right now, just in case I need to look at a note or something while I'm on this video. But it's just insane how we just live with these phones. And while I love technology and I love the advancements, it has taken away from our happiness, I think, in a lot of ways, and taken us out of the present moment. And so think of the present moment as that's where your magic happens. That's where life is happening, is now. Life is now. And so the more you are in your now, the more you're present, the more you're conscious of what you're thinking, the more you're aware. If you're aware of your inner state, you're golden. You just got to know what your mental state is in that moment. And if you stay aware in your present moment, then we really don't experience anxiety, because Anxiety is kind of like trying to fix something in the future that hasn't happened yet. It's anticipating something. And when we're thinking about the past, a lot of times it's regret or grief. And those emotions just, they do nothing for us. They don't help us. And of course, we need to process some of these emotions. You know, I won't go deep into that, but that's for another video if we want to talk about how to process emotions. But it's mostly, where am I right now? What mental state am I in right now? How can I create a mental state of joy and gratitude and thankfulness and appreciation and abundance? How can I do that in the now? And I had to learn to do this by literally talking to myself all the time. I'm talking to myself all day anyway, just like you are, but we need to decide what we're going to talk about instead of letting our mind run us. We need to run our minds ourselves, because it's so programmed, and everyone around you is programmed. So why would we listen to other people around us about our life? And so I tell people, like, take the gems from what people say, take the gems, because they're mirroring you anyway. So just take the gems out of what they say, what resonates most, including me. Take the gems that I say, whatever you determine as a gem and it's worth taking, take it and run with it, use it, and just stay there and think about it and ask yourself, well, why did this resonate with me? Because there's some reason it did. And so we just have to remember that we're in our present moment. That's all that we need to think about. Everything else takes care of itself. You just take that first step. Don't worry about the rest of the staircase. Just take the first step. I'm having to learn this in so many different ways, because I am taking my business probably in a totally different direction than I thought it was going to go in. It's crazy, and someday I'll talk about that more. But we're in the creating scaffolding right now. I have no idea how this is going to happen, when this is going to happen. I'm just taking it piece by piece. And that's how I want you to look at your life. I'm going to live piece by piece. The how doesn't matter. The when doesn't matter. The who doesn't even matter. None of this matters. It's just, what am I doing in my now? What mental state am I in? What am I most aware of? Because when we're not in our now, we're a lot of times creating suffering for ourselves. And so I don't want to suffer anymore. I had to talk to myself and say, you're creating suffering and a prison for yourself when you're thinking about these things in these ways. So let's change that. We've got to change the way we think. We've got to utilize our minds properly instead of letting them run us, because they are just programmed, literally programmed by other people who are programmed. And then what's the truth? So you have to determine what your own truth is, and only you knows what that is. And so it's just a matter of making sure that you're directing your thoughts where you want them to go versus where they've always gone, and question everything. Say to yourself, what if I let go of fear today? What would I say to this person? Or what would I think? Or what would I believe if I let go of fear? What if I could believe anything I want to believe? How would I live my life if I could just be myself and be authentic? That's why I love doing these videos too. It's like, I know that there's a better way to get more views on my videos. I know there's better ways to do everything. I haven't done shorts yet. I haven't done really thumbnails that could probably convert better. Like, the only thing I've done to try is like titling. vidIQ, this little what do you call it, software program, helps you come up with titles, because I'm trying to figure out titles so people can maybe search certain words and find me. But I'm authentic. Like, I'm just me throughout the videos. I'm not performing. This is how I talk with everybody. I definitely am on my toes trying to make sure I'm thinking, because if I'm not kind of thinking, then I'm just kind of like, I might lose track, or I might go off on a tangent, or which I'm sure you've seen me do before, and I'm probably doing it right now. But I'm queen of tangents. But it's getting me to stay more in the moment and trust that whatever I say is going to hit someone correctly. Maybe they'll hear it in a certain way than the way that they needed to hear it, instead of maybe the way that I said it. I don't know. But I just be myself. That's what I'm doing in the videos. And I encourage you all to be yourselves true. Be your true, authentic self. Don't be scared to be bold and that was a word that came up in a session too. The person was, they thought that being bold was being mean. And I'm like, no. And it's like, where did you come up with that definition? And why is that true for you? What makes that true for you? And so just go through your definitions, everything that you're defining, and why are you defining it that way? Because everything in life is neutral. Remember, it's not good or bad. We give it the meaning. Everything is neutral. So we get to decide what the truth is for ourselves. We don't have to tell people what our truth is. We don't have to do anything. Nobody has to know what we're doing inside our minds, but we've got to learn to direct our thoughts where we want them to go instead of maybe what the evidence is showing outside of us. And that's another thing. The circumstances around us don't matter. They are not evidence other than where our thoughts have been for a while. That's what the evidence is showing you. This is where my thoughts and beliefs have been. Maybe in the toilet. Maybe we want to pull them out of the toilet and put them somewhere else instead of in the toilet. Like, we got to be careful with what we're thinking on a daily basis and during the day. Like, really take time to check in, do that body scan I've talked about. Check your body. Where am I feeling tense? Where am I holding my breath? I hold my breath a lot and I don't realize I'm doing it. So I'm having to literally like train myself to breathe sometimes. I'm like, hey, you got to breathe. You got to breathe more deeply. There's just certain things that we just go right back, snap right back into the old self. We got to get into that new self, and we've got to practice things, and we've got to say to ourselves, hey, you're doing amazing. Give yourself grace. Also, I had something come up at a session too, where, lots of complaining about other people. That you hear that a lot in therapy sessions, of course, like complaining about something that's going on, like a relationship issue or something like that. We've all been there. And I always go back to unconditional love for self. It starts with self. We can't change other people. We can inspire them through our energy shifts, of course. We know this. Everything is a mirror. Everything is a mirror. We're experiencing versions of people. So if we're experiencing a version of a person that we don't really like fully, we've got to change the version of ourselves. And so I love to go back to unconditional love for self, giving yourself grace. Where are you hard on yourself? If you're being hard on somebody else, where are you being hard on yourself? Where's the love for yourself? And I love how I watched, Stranger Things. I'm a Stranger Things fan. If you guys are a fan, let me know below, because I love that show. But, and we've been watching it for 10 years. And so at the very end, the star of the show, and one of the guys on the show, he said to Eleven, the main character, I love you and accept you exactly as you are right now. And that was like, to me, just unconditional love, the definition of it. I love and accept you exactly as you are right now. And what would happen if we told ourselves that every day? I love you exactly as you are, exactly as you are. I accept you exactly as you are, which means we don't need to change anything. We're perfect the way that we are, but we think that we have to become this better version all the time. And it's not necessarily that like we're perfect as we are, but we want to just become more evolved. That would be the way to describe it. It's not that we're not perfect as we are. It's like we just want to learn, grow, be challenged, have fun, and evolve and expand. It's not about like, oh, I suck now and I need to get better. It's about giving yourself grace and understanding. And that's unconditional love. And once you can love yourself, then you can start to love other people better too. And including these rascals that are hard to love. I think the ones that are hard to love are the ones that need the love the most, which might be yourself, might be myself. We've got to love ourselves, and we've got to accept ourselves and give ourselves grace. Know that we're good enough. Going back to the most limiting belief, well, you're great enough. It's not that you're good enough. You're great enough. You're perfect enough the way you are. You have to hype yourself up. Nobody else is going to do that for you. Except for me. I might do it. If I saw you, I'd hype you up. I love doing that for people because it totally turns their thoughts upside down about themselves. And they're like, whoa. But the thing is, you trust other people's words more than yourself. You can't seem to tell yourself that. You've got to look in that mirror and start talking to yourself like that. and watch what happens outside of you. We go to the manifesting thing again, that whole thing. How do we manifest? From a great state of being. How are you acting? How are you feeling? What are you thinking about? What are you believing about yourself? And watch what happens when you shift that. So I will stop the ramble. Thank you for listening. This came out of nowhere. So this is video 232. If you're new here, I'm Samantha and I'm a therapist. I don't think I said that at the beginning. And I've been creating a video every day for a year. That's the goal, to get to a year. This is video 232. So if you like my video today and you feel so inclined, please like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys so much. All your comments and everything is just so much fun. I love this. And remember to love yourself. Remember you are so loved. Pass that on to someone who needs to hear that today. And remember to appreciate yourself, because what you appreciate appreciates. That means you're increasing in value every time you appreciate yourself. I appreciate you. Me saying that just increased your value. Look at it like that, energetically. Just increased your value. How exciting. Well, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. Bye.